What's up, y'all? It's Easy Lou Unboxing TV. Please subscribe to the channel if you haven't yet. So, David Benavides, he fights at 168 super middleweight, and he has a fight coming up on March 13th against Ronald Ellis, and I expect David Benavides to stop Ronald Ellis. You know what I'm saying? Ronald Ellis, he's more of a boxer type, but I see David Benavides stopping him. Yeah, so David Benavides, he had an interview recently. And he's saying that he's been going. Him and Caleb Plant had this little beef for a few years now. That they're in the same division, so they always knew that they would have to fight each other at some point. But excuse me, David Benavides, he lost his WBC belt twice. He lost it once when he failed the drug test. It wasn't like steroids or anything. It was cocaine in the system, and the second time was on the scale. And the second time when he lost it on the scale, it was he was actually one of the fight. He was on one of the first fight cards that when boxing was coming back from the pandemic, with like no crowds and everything. So he lost it on the scale there. So after that, the media knows that him and Caleb Plant have a little back and forth and everything. So when they would interview Caleb Plant, they would ask him like, what he thought about that, and Caleb would be like, well, he needs to keep his nose clean, and you call him a fat boy and all that. So and everybody knows what he's hinting at by saying he needs to keep his nose clean, and calling him fat because he lost it on the scale and everything. So they had a little back and forth, but recently, Benavides, he's that everybody's been talking about him and Charlo recently. So Benavides, he just had an interview, and he's saying that all these guys, they say all that shit, they say his name, but then they make excuses when it's time to make the fight. You know what I'm saying? He said they make excuses because Charlo, he was on live the other day, and Charlo, fans are commenting and saying Benavides' name and everything, and Charlo was like, man, how old is he? You know what I mean? He was like, and Charlo said he's not fighting no one under 25, and that he hasn't gotten the vaccine yet and everything. And Benavides, I don't know if he was trying to be funny, throwing a little shot. He was like, man, I never thought I would hear somebody say, oh, they ain't get the vaccine yet, so that's why they don't want to fight. And he's saying I'm too young. He don't want to fight no one under 25. So Benavides was being funny. Talking about, come on, really, you ain't get the vaccine yet. And then Caleb Plant recently also said that they asked him about a fight with him and Benavides, and Caleb Plant said, Benavides, if he thought he was as good as he think he is, why isn't Canelo calling him out instead of me? Or why isn't his name in the mix with Canelo instead of me? But since he holds himself in high regard so much. So Caleb also said that Benavides has to wait and get to the end of the line, get to the back of the line, because he doesn't have a belt. Which I can't really argue about that much, because Caleb said this a while ago. He said this from like every time they would ask him about Benavides, he said he would fight him, let him get. And this is before he lost his belt the first time. I mean, this is after he lost it the first time. So it's before he lost it the second time. He would say like, I don't have no problem fighting him. Let him get his belt back, then we can fight. So it would be worth something. But I mean, in all honesty, I think that fight is still gonna be worth something, because that's one of the fights everybody wants to see, Benavides and Caleb Plant. So that's still gonna be worth something. But I understand Caleb, he just doesn't want to put his belt up. He wants Benavides to put something up too, because he's trying to, Caleb said he wants to be the first super middleweight undisputed champion. So he wants it to be worth something. But Benavides saying that these dudes is all making excuses now. They talking about Caleb Plant talking about get to the back of the line, get a belt. Charlo saying that he's too young, or he hasn't got the vaccine yet. So I just gotta keep it real, man. Those do sound like excuses, man. I can't lie, and I'm a fan of Caleb Plant. Caleb Plant is one of my favorite fighters. But like I said, I understand Caleb also, because Caleb is also he's always said that. Even after the first time that Benavides lost his belt, he said if he gets his belt back, I have no problem doing that. We can make that happen. And he doesn't have a belt now, so Caleb was like, yo, you gotta get to the back of the line. But Benavides is saying that nah, these dudes are just using excuses, man. Like me, they ain't about no belt. It ain't about my age, and it ain't about getting no vaccine. So you saying Charlo and Caleb Plant need to keep his name out of his mouth if they don't want to fight, because they just talking about him, but they ain't trying to, get down to it and really line these fights up. So, Benavides, he out here, man. He's out here. He looking for all the smoke. He ain't tripping who it is. And he said that he trying to land that Canelo fight too, man. And that'd be a good look. It'll be a good fight with all of them. It'll be a good fight with Benavides and Plant. It'll be a good fight with Benavides and Charlo and Benavides and Canelo. All these dudes, and all these dudes need to fight each other. Shit, all four of them. The hell, like shit, for real, man. Like we need to see all these fights. So, but I feel Benavides though. I feel him. I'm a fan of Benavides, man. Benavides, he's at 168. Like I said, he's 23-0 with 20 knockouts. You know what I mean? Like he doesn't have the best footwork in the world, but he's a good boxer, man. He has a nice jab. He's tall. He's tall as shit too. If I'm not mistaken, he's like, how tall is he? I don't even want to call out no damn number because I don't really know, but I know he's taller than 6 feet for sure. Benavides is a giant up there, but Benavides, man, he has a good jab. He throws good combos and he has power. You know what I mean? That, and to tell you the truth, man, Canelo talking about he had said some weird shit last year talking about he ain't fighting no more Mexican fighters and all that shit, or Mexican style fighters. I think he said Mexicans. Yeah, Mexican fighters. But and I think, man, that's my opinion. I don't think he want that work with Benavides. And Canelo is something wrong with his knee too. I don't think he want that work with Benavides, dog. I don't think he want that work with any of the dudes. And I don't understand why Canelo's a fucking problem, but I don't know, man. I guess you don't want to risk, you know what I mean, not getting them checks and all that shit. But man, he needs to get in the ring with all these dudes too, cause he know all he gotta do is say that he'll do it and his fight is happening. Ain't won't be no problem, cause all these dudes will sign paperwork to fight him. Like, come on, man. Ain't nobody gonna turn down no damn Canelo fight. But yeah, Benavides, he's saying all these dudes are using excuses, man. But we gonna see what's up, man. Easy Loon Boxing. I'll let you in a minute. One.